Um,
Good morning, everyone. Call to order the Tuesday, February 18th meeting of the Madison County Board of Commissioners. My name is Chris Moss, and everybody will introduce themselves for the record.
Tony Sneaker.
Brendan Shea.
Rob Simon B. Madison County Administrator.
Nick Atkins, prosecutor.
Rhonda Bader, assistant clerk. Amy Reese clerk.
Everybody should have received a copy of the minutes. Are there any additions, corrections to the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
First and a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes. Looks like you're on
Looks
deck.
like
Yeah.
Morning. I just have one brief item. Tony called me this weekend. We had a little chat about some of the email communication that I've sent to your board recently. And he expressed some concerns, and so he asked me to address them this morning, having to do with attorney-client privilege. So just a quick overview. Obviously, any of our communication that has to do with legal advice is privileged. That's pursuant to Ohio case law and Ohio statutory law. So if there is a public records request, we don't have to send that communication to that person. The communication includes agents that are being used either to help with the transmission of communication or to facilitate carrying out whatever the purpose is of the communication. So obviously, your county administrator, Rob's going to be included in that level of protection. The one thing, though, that Tony asked me to kind of stress is that, especially because of the sensitive nature of the recent communication, if that information, the advice is shared with an outside party, you can waive the privilege, which means that it becomes subject to a public records request. So if you're forwarding that on to someone that's not within that protected bubble, that's how you lose that protection. So just a friendly reminder.
Very good.
That's all.
Good.
Like I said, Tony asked me to.
Yeah, because I wasn't clear about it.
Yeah.
Some of the things, especially with the biodigester.
Sure.
I don't want to give them one. So I wanted to make sure, hey, they're they request public records.
And Rob, if there is a public records request, it's not uncommon for an email to maybe first paragraph is not protected, second paragraph is, and you just read that.
Right. And that's another reason why I've requested executive session a couple times in our conversations. It's a
Right.
pending litigation.
So I have this one.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Mr. Slang.
I really don't have much for you. I took a couple days off last week, so just playing catch up. Had a long weekend.
Okay.
Just playing catch up.
Moving quickly with that. Jamie, you're on.
All right. First thing, the Chamber's annual meeting, they're calling it Celebrate Madison County Awards Dinner. So last year I almost forgot, but usually resolutions get handed out to the winners. So if you all want to go to that and hand out the resolutions, that's good. Then just let me know. And I'll sign it up. A resolution approving the payment of invoices for the Madison County Auditor.
So moved.
Okay. First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution supporting ordinance 20724, this is the one for, about the London gateway, so I'm going to talk about this now. I sent it out, I think that you sent out your revisions to everyone.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Resolution approving change order number 6 for the Madison County 2020 CDBG program South Soil and Water Treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant project.
This is the verifying the final costs.
Yeah, the final should be the final cost, so this project should be completed.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the submission of an application for the program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant Flex Program.
Move to approve.
First and second, voting in second.
So I had asked about this one, Rob, so it's a 2024 application, can you elaborate on what?
They apply in 2024, the work that's done. There's 2 years of getting these projects done. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still learning about this, but they apply in 2024,
Yeah.
and the grants take 2 years for construction, whatever they want to do, so they're every 2 years.
So we're applying in 2025 for 2024 approval, or?
So this is for the flex. Yeah, that's a good question, because this is a new project. If you want to table that, I can get more information.
Was that presented in 24 to be approved for?
No, so I can't really, I mean, it's, CDBG, through their flex program for, repairs to the Fairhaven's parking lot, so it's through, I believe it's, the administrative agency is the Department of Development, but I could be wrong for the state because it is different than CDBG, but honestly, I can't remember if it was something that we applied for in 2024 or therefore we're following up in 2025.
That was my thought.
We could table it, get a notification.
I'm pretty sure it was something we applied for.
Whitaker's usually pretty on top of things.
Yeah, I looked through my emails, but I couldn't find anything regarding this from Whitaker. I don't know if you got something maybe that I didn't get or,
Just to have them approve it, and he actually, resolution was written for me, so it says 2024, so.
Yeah, so did Whitaker send that to you? But he didn't explain really anything.
I mean, it's not time sensitive, is it?
Not to my knowledge, he didn't say that, he's very short on words, I call him a lot for explanation, but no, he didn't mention that.
Okay. Well, if it's not, then ask him the question and bring it back next week.
A resolution transferring funds to the Madison Soil and Water Conservation District for 2025, this was the $188,000 that the commissioners granted them.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution increasing appropriations to the CASA training accounts in the amount of $958.32.
Move to approve.
Second. We have a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the agreement between Madison County Department of Job and Family Services and the University of Cincinnati for the Federal Work Study Program.
Move to approve.
Second. First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving a zoning change for, Dennis is going to come to explain this later, so we'll hold on to that one. A resolution increasing appropriations to the 2024 CDBG Critical Infrastructure Program and the 2024 CDBG Allocation Program.
Did he provide any,
This is for the budget, so these are new projects that are coming up, so he gave me the revenue budget, I'm putting it in, so he
Right.
released it.
so the dollars have to be appropriated, but did he say what projects these were for?
Probably, critical infrastructure, I have to go back and know exactly what they were, but, the allocation is NRG lines, it might be DD in that, so,
Well, with it, I mean, it doesn't refer to our pay,
no, this is,
so it's probably not the so much for sewer project, so
no.
it's either
this is-
master running, Midway or South Sullivan, I
Right.
would expect.
No, this has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, but if you want more information, we can get that.
I just would prefer that the resolution state what it's responsible for. Is that in the original materials you sent?
No, I
didn't
think
have
there's
it.
still public hearings going on and to decide where the money's gonna be spent. The public has input on like the DD project and things like that. We got the grant, so it's up to the, kind of the public has a lot of input about what projects are important enough to put towards that. But this is getting the money and putting it in the budget so we can spend it when we have projects to go, I believe. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought the projects were submitted first in the initial stages.
maybe, I went through the city, but I'm still.
Yeah, well, that's something we can find out.
A resolution of no confidence, do you want to speak about this one?
Sure, yeah, so I submitted a resolution, I don't know if it went out, did it go out to everyone?
No, I thought that you got that. No.
Okay, just requesting the resignation of Mr. West. So you can read it if you would like.
Brendan, my county email was giving me fits last night, so that's why I had to send it from my personal account to my county account and then forward it on to you, so it might have looked a little weird. So.
Yeah.
You just had a test, didn't you?
What's that?
You just had a test to see if you trip on it, didn't you?
Second time on triple.
I think I read this. I'm good with it. Yeah. Move to approve.
Second.
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And lastly, a resolution increasing appropriations to the unemployment county budget expense line. This was sent to me right at 4 o'clock, so I did not get that out. It's in the amount of $2,000. We haven't paid a bill out of that since I think she said 2022, and they just got a bill, so I'm appropriating money to pay that.
Which one is it?
I see.
Unemployment, the county unemployment expense line.
Move to approve?
Second.
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
That's all I have for you.
Good. We were early for public session, but anybody in the audience would like to make a comment, question, concern, feel free.
Sabrina Lohr. I am from Choctaw Lake. I'm also on the board of trustees there. First, thank you for the resolution you just passed. That is why I came today to ensure that you followed up on your word. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm also heading to Middle Ohio's water meeting at 1 o'clock today. Wondering if there's any way to get a copy of that resolution today, just because I can go to that meeting. Second, I will be also moving on to other council meetings, the London Council and the City Council, to also meet with them and ask that they follow in your footsteps. So thank you again for that. And really that's all I need is a copy of that, so I can have that in hand and move forward with the project. We're time sensitive. We don't want to end up in litigation. We have a short window to stop this, so we need to move forward with that.
Thanks for being here. I'll just let you know, I was contacted by Senator Michelle Reynolds. She's expressed her opposition. She sent a letter of opposition. Since I'm going to be able to attend and she's not, she asked that I share those comments with the board, so I plan to do that
Today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amy, can you provide a copy? Thank you.
A little late, but I got the copy of the minutes running for the zoning commission, just forwarded it over to you. So I checked out the website and we do have all the appointees for all three boards when their terms start and expire as well, but they've kind of fallen short on the minutes and agendas, so I'll make sure they get those posted.
So you said we have three appointees?
No, the three boards, the
Which
Rural
three?
Planning Commission, Zoning Commission, and Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay.
So. I'm still getting over this flu. Yeah, but it's just the agenda. That's usually up there, but I don't write. Oh, it's in. Perfect.
Get ready to speak for only 3 minutes.
There you go.
I may try to speak like a person at the end of the pharmaceutical commercial to actually highlight it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There.
About 10.5 pounds. Whatever.
I went back and I looked at all the minutes.
I
I
know you
looked at
did.
your,
Yeah.
Chris,
you were there.
I was there.
Definitely.
So was Chris.
my
Like
best,
six,
but
Not this Chris, Judge Chris
Right,
Brown.
exactly, right. And he asked a lot of questions about how could they have the authority to sign a contract to do this negotiation.
Well, they gave him the authority. I guess he could.
It wasn't in the minutes.
I get it. You know, when he says we give him the authority to sign.
Right.
That's
That's
fine.
reflected in,
Yeah.
He said, when you sign something, we
No,
give you
the way that one runs that.
yes, I don't sign anything without.
He tells that you sign that contract, we have the authority to sign
I guess.
without some sort of resolution.
Well, unless it's within their policy. I mean, Ohio Revised Code gives me the ability, if you choose to move forward with it, the ability to sign contracts up to a certain amount and spend a certain amount of dollars, but I never do. I always come in and it's,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, given that blanket authority to sign.
yeah. When it comes to a 6119, I don't know. I'm sure they don't record their meetings either.
He said they did.
No, it's just minutes. Yeah. Once it said that the authority was given and it's reflected in the previous meeting, and I don't see it in the
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. The whole issue.
Their minutes aren't really very in-depth.
Well, actually, the minutes that I reviewed from July, when this was all being discussed, was play by play.
Oh, was it really?
It was literally play by play. 12 pages long.
Maybe I'm thinking.
They had all the questions that Chris Brown asked and that Tony's.
They had me walking out.
Had you walking around, you made a gesture.
An appropriate gesture, did
It
you?
might have been.
You made an inappropriate gesture.
That was the one down here, after they voted.
I can't believe you would make an inappropriate gesture.
After they voted,
And have to
I
sit on this
think,
hand.
Yeah.
after they voted down here, I thanked the two that voted against it. And I said, the rest of you, and I walked out. I didn't say anything bad, not a word.
Oh, boy.
I was frustrated. You know, you talk to them, they don't want to listen. They don't want to give you the time to explain yourself.
You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. I got more than 3 minutes. The rest, I'll pull my badge out, I'll show you.
Yeah. And he said, well, I would ask that you revise the zoning moving forward, so just
How
so.
quickly would you need to?
Yeah, I guess it's the agenda.
Same point, and I just shot that.
See how they vote.
I've already made it. 5.4, it's the advice of the board, to the building zone and the subdivision review board, you don't understand, you can advise us.
So we need time.
No.
I recommend we deny it, and you can outline that.
Because I don't want her to call them back.
Get around the spirit of the zoning code, by splitting the lots off and transferring the CDOs over time for that purpose. If they want to sue the county, they're not going to, because the other others, he's got to go through the subdivision review board, and so I think it's not going to be an extra cost to you, because he already has the lot service, so. But moving forward,
Somewhere to say it.
yeah, you're already working on it, your board's aware of that.
She's gonna have a copy.
You can't
But I just said like electronic.
split or consolidate to try and get around
And I can send it to you.
max
I
GC.
need one to sign. Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna take the answer. That you couldn't do it. Right. Well, push it till you can't take anymore and see what you get. I mean, he's already got 4, 5, 6, so.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's clear cut. In
I'll
the,
send you.
the case law says it can't be random, it can't be arbitrary. There's got to be a purpose behind the decision denying it. It's got to be consistent. And we can easily do that. We can show that. Like he's trying to, it's an end around, right? So I think that's fine. And it's not like you're saying, no, you cannot do this. There's a proper way to do this, and you're trying to avoid the proper mechanism, go in subdivision review. So that's definitely a statement there. I would definitely deny it. Okay. I'm just telling you. It's not even just a denial, it's hey, you're in the wrong place, right?
Yeah, their agenda isn't very descriptive.
Right, their agendas, but their minutes are.
Yep.
send the London Gateway to Pat.
Are we gonna have representation there? Do you want me to attend that meeting? Do you want me to speak? Do you want me to just sit back and do nothing? Do you want me to not go?
On Thursday.
I think the letter is sufficient.
Works for me.
Just a copy of what we passed.
I just sent this message out. I sent this to my,
You could have a gateway one.
think about it. When what?
Very cold.
Yeesh. We haven't had a good winter like this in, kill all the bugs. You came from Georgia, right?
Oh, I'm from Ohio, but
I know.
I moved up from Georgia.
Yeah. Don't you wish you were back down there?
No,
Cold.
I hate it. I love my change of seasons. I
Yeah.
love that the people who I was trying to get away from up here moved down there, so I moved back. And I have an ex-wife too, so that's another reason. We were married, better got my life.
Where in Ohio were you from?
Lyon.
Oh, like, very nice.
This is the best winter we've had in a long time.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Plus the ice storms out there bad.
I bet, well, they have no way of dealing with it. I think that's probably worse.
As soon as they get a storm, it shuts down.
Yep.
Overall, I think our roads cleared up pretty quickly.
When I was coming home yesterday, north and south roads with that crosswind, bad. I was doing 35 mile an hour on 4. It took me like 3.5 hours to get home. But it was because it was blowing, drifting.
Yeah.
I had to run up to Michigan early Saturday morning, headed out of here about 4:30. Talk about running into some stuff there.
Yeah.
That was nasty. The windshield got engulfed with ice, and it was bad. You couldn't-
Yeah.
Couldn't even get hard enough.
Well,
Brian's
I got stuck on
right there.
that Hood Bay. I was supposed to fly back Sunday and weren't flying, so unfortunately,
Well, that just
I got stuck.
That sounds awful being stuck there, Rob.
What's that?
That sounds awful being
It
stuck
was.
there.
Anybody there?
there. Morning, sir.
Front row of the camera, don't we?
That's right, you do. In the hot seat.
Back there. He must have looked at it. Morning, everyone. Not much to report this morning. We had a full weekend of snow and ice control. We had crews out Saturday for freezing rain, and then Sunday yesterday for snow and blowing. So still have some isolated areas of hard pack and whatnot, but roads are pretty good shape. So Amy does have one item of business for you, I do believe. For a transfer, I have had to purchase some additional salt this year. You can wait till her time to act on the resolution, but we purchased around another 900 tons, around $75,000. So
What was in our materials? You sent it out.
I don't have it.
we'll be transferring that out of contract projects. Works out fine because I had 75,000 allocated for a match on the bridge on Chesapeake Road, and that'll end up being a next year project. Anyway, so, should work out. And Lord willing, that'll get us through the end of this year, as far as salt goes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
It's but it's quick today.
I don't know how I didn't have that.
What's the total that we got?
I read that.
Yeah, it was in our.
Yeah, but I
it's
don't
in our
have it.
materials.
Okay. Well,
Do you want me to read it?
No, I'll have it, well, we can pass it.
okay. make sure you have it in your hands before end of session.
No, I
She
think I
has it. She
made
just-
it. I don't know
Yeah, we
why.
received it prior.
Yeah, they received it to review.
Yeah, it was in our packet. We just didn't approve it yet.
And I don't know why, I'm on number that, I don't know why.
It got lost in the shuffle. So we'll vote.
I hear you. Lots of things shuffling around, right?
That's right, absolutely.
I not number because you didn't make it.
It's in there. I seen it.
It's 171.
Yeah, you approved it.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Check.
I didn't recall approving it, but okay.
Resolution approving adjustments to the 2025 gas tax budget. Signed.
I don't think we voted on it.
I don't know. Maybe I actually did it and.
Well, read it and let's approve it
All
again,
right.
just to be sure we actually approve it. I don't recall that, but
It must have been attached to another one, I think.
yeah, it
I
might
just
have
signed
been.
it, so. Resolution approving adjustments to the 2025 gas tax budget in the amount of $78,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And that's how you sneak things through.
There we go. We might have approved it twice, but it's okay.
And, you know, just follow up on that, but salt's one of those necessary evils we gotta budget for and spend money on. So when we do a budget every year, we're looking at the last few years as far as usage goes and, budget for around that amount, knowing that if we get in a bind, you know, it can come out of contracts or road materials.
Well, there's a big difference with just salt rather than the grit mixed in there with it. And you're right, that's the way to do it.
You know, we made that change a couple years ago. I hesitated for a long time because I was concerned about the usage increasing. And I think what we have found out, and it was something that we always thought was happening, is we don't actually use any more salt. When we were putting a one-to-one mix down, we were just really putting double the amount of grit down. So usage has stayed pretty consistent, and I think our overtime is down because it's much more effective. And then we don't have the cleanup on the equipment. We don't have, you know, grit in the road intersection, so we're not spending time mixing the grit stuff and the salt in the yard too. So it's been a good change all the way around.
For sure.
If you could do something about the drifting, we'll be fine.
I hear you. You know, it used to be a lot worse with all the fence roads. We had a lot of roads where, you know, they would completely plug up because they had fence rows on both sides of the road out on the right of the line. They were, had they been back, you know, 30, 40 feet, they would have, you know, kept it out of the road, but they were so close to the road, the drifts actually ended up.
Now it keeps blowing until they find a fence road.
Exactly.
Yeah. Going by Lily Chapel, what is that, Lily Chapel, Georgesville Road, or whatever, what is that?
Well, there's,
The one that I call it Alki.
there's a bunch of them. Yeah, that's Village Chapel, Georgesville.
Yeah, that one drifts a lot.
Yeah. Village Chapel, Possum Run.
Georgesville. Yeah, it's a doozy.
How many tons do you start out with? Salt?
We budgeted for 1,800 tons this year. What we have on hand just depends on the season. We've got around 2,000 in the barn right now. Typical year, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000.
The Oak Run QEP commissioners have to approve it versus, or deny it. But if they don't do anything, nothing happens. It doesn't go forward. That's just the QEP for the tax piece. That's different than the power siting board version where you have to act within that period of time. So if they take no action.
So what was the point of the 30-day deadline then that could be extended?
To approve.
If they don't
approve this project.
It's not automatically approved, then there's no.
But I'll have it on the agenda for this.
Yeah.
You know what happens next if we don't, or we deny it, what their alternatives are?
I mean, I don't,
It's kind of hard to say when you have the pending case before.
yeah, but I mean, as far as a qualified energy project, which makes it eligible for OAQDA or pilot, that's kind of the key. If they don't get that, is it no longer financially viable for them to move forward with the project?
If they are successful in the Supreme Court, why would they not? Then you're looking at the difference between 7,000 per megawatt versus 9,000.
Yeah. You know, if the county takes no action during the time, i.e. not responding formally, let the clock run out, then the director of development would deny the application. Yeah, you would think,
You can ask for an extension. It's in the statute.
they can,
You can.
oh,
I think you can get up to 90 days.
to review.
Yeah, I mean, when I got the email, I just read the statute real quick. And that was my interpretation. You can ask for, I think, 2 extensions for 30 days each, so yeah, totally was nothing.
So then what, the property would then just be taxed, like it was on the full value of the real estate improvement?
Considering the amount of equipment, infrastructure, that'd be pretty significant amount, so.
I want to talk to the auditor to get a sense of what it is.
What's that?
I want to talk to the auditor's office to get an idea.
Yeah.
Of the-
Which they, I don't know if they'll commit to a dollar figure or not, considering that they may say, well, we don't know, you know, how much,
Yeah, I get that, but still,
what the equipment costs and where's it gonna be, that sort of thing.
have an estimate.
I might be able to,
Look at other projects.
yeah,
That's what I was gonna say, look at other projects in the state.
do some roundabout math.
Never heard that before.
I'll be back.
A lot of surveyors there on 665 in Spring Valley. Are they just doing the right of way?
That's what it looks like, they're doing the survey.
I was worried that the fences, my fences were in the right of way, but I'm good.
Yeah, they're out, they should
Yeah,
be.
hate to move them.
I think we've only got 50 feet, so it's one's
it's gonna take 50 feet? Oh.
No, the existing is only
Gotcha,
50 feet
gotcha.
away, so.
I wonder when they're gonna start doing surveying on the private properties. I mean, the project's what, 2028, so it's way out there.
Yeah, so they'll do their initial survey of roads, the right of way, topographical features. Then they'll put together their design.
After that.
And once they choose, they'll assess what the right of way impacts will be. And then once they decide on a preferred.
Right.
Whatever. Design or alignment.
Yeah.
They'll state that out and start having conversations with property owners.
So it'll be down the road.
Yeah, so they're just, I would assume, because I haven't seen anything as far as any their designs or anything like that, so.
I assumed it was the right of way, but I didn't know.
That brought that thing back. He said, think about it. Yeah, that's what he said. He said, no,
Too big and long.
you prefer.
Sour cream and drink it.
I'll have to worry about forgetting it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis, want to ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Did you get any progress on right away? I need to talk to more people, see. Right now, we're working on getting.
Yep.
We've got 8 tenths of a mile or so, and we're actually making progress. After the one, after about 20 years. Well, this next thing didn't take that long. I'll tell you, don't be surprised. My name's Alan.
Alan Sabrina. SUP, yep.
We just,
I live on the edge of the lake and they want to put a north of the lake. And that was just.
We own the land.
Yeah, they did not consider was they're gonna load it with phosphorus. And there's a direct correlation to phosphorus loading and. This is
No.
A to B in Ohio, not understand A to B. Yeah, we're not considering or we're just in here.
Yes, I heard about the park district this morning, so here I am.
I think what I'm gonna do is, I would, you look at the first talk about the different, I can look at this one. Figure out just add something. And then I can put something, a subdivision, conservation subdivision and add to it. That's something, are we really pushing?
It's really good.
So I don't really cover everything everyone wants, so any conservation wants to do that kind of development, it's okay.
I'm sorry? New tea? I didn't bring a lot, it's all I had.
So right now, I'm just taking the standards that's already in the comp plan.
And then you're gonna like it, and I'm gonna have to, I gotta figure how to get it.
We want to do this as state. But at least it's a mandatory comp, but it's already in the comp.
And I can't find the translation.
So you might as well, let's create something for it, time to catch up to the conference.
Yeah, so they need
Tea, mountain tea.
I wrote something.
Had some yesterday for the first time. Pretty good. And everybody down there swears by it.
They brought some back.
It's the same, like, they have the same. So I think, okay.
Right, they should match.
Yeah, they should match. So that's.
You know, that's really one of our first dinner.
15, 15, $30. Forget that.
Yeah, I was flattered.
Where at?
Our group wants to have this.
Oh.
This was 30.
Maybe it was all you could eat. You don't get a lot of perks.
This was 30 ahead. The biggest freaking sushi bar I have ever seen.
Oh.
This was only half of it. It's Japanese seafood.
Everything used, but, you know.
Well, you gain 8 pounds. Yeah.
Right, because it's easy, because it made just one little article. So, you know, I don't want to feel like to be rushed.
John's delivering home.
Right, because every community learns their lesson.
Lunch and eat possibly. So 5 days.
But it's almost inevitable, we're gonna have to make it better, the best thing, and then we're like, oh.
Might be able to keep it.
So something comes in like. Yeah, we can do that, 'cause.
Big hot.
She plays soccer. Yeah. She was a freshman. She was a freshman last year. She went to nationals. So she did really well.
It's all money.
Gosh, he stays so different. I can't wait to see what Canada does.
Probably. She probably gets after it.
I'm not even gonna try to guess.
No, I think that's probably true. The personality. Dominant.
Use that word.
Yeah.
Sleep.
There's some things in contracts, I don't understand.
It's a reason. False. Not true.
How many did you guys catch?
Know where we ask for
I had about 20.
trail, you know.
I did pretty well for everybody else.
You know, I will think in the future.
You use a jig on them? You jig them or?
I'm still working, figuring out that flasher, it's, you know, the electronics, it's only had it for 10 years, but I really haven't get to use it. And there's a zoom function that I should have been using that right there.
Of course, the zoom function is very important. Fishing.
I always do.
Track of everything, so, but I do know they have some tweaks they want to make to this trail head, but we have this solidified. Open space and they want a trail on here and. So.
It was a rough flight yesterday.
I bet. Especially when you got one in Canada flipped over.
Yeah, that plane was all over the place, getting all that stuff like that. Once we got over the lake, it was pretty easy, and really the landing at Port Prince. But no, once we got off the ground, it was out of the lower road.
It's like.
Yeah, this is the, kind of overturned in front of the airport.
It was just more of an introduction and, once they start talking about it.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Is it turning out?
I'm glad it was you.
It is
I flew to about 45 minutes before it landed. The pilot gets on there, he goes, folks, I'm gonna turn the lights on, seatbelt, it's on, do not take them unless you absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I still met someone who built a house.
I've met it, like this, like this. He landed. I grabbed the chair and the guy that was sitting next to me, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Flying to Florida, going back to France from Algiers. He said, it'll be all right. You know, I'd rather drive, but damn, it's better.
Maybe we should.
Well, this was actually longer to get everything loaded up on the
But this year, I think I overdid it. I figured about 7,000 miles.
So I guess we just my tester.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, that's kind of a discussion.
My brother George came back. It's an 11-hour flight. He upgraded for $1,000. It was so worth it.
I didn't realize you scanned, I'm sorry, I was waiting for you, I didn't realize you slipped back in.
I'm slick. I'm a little feller, so I sneak in, you know, so. I don't start till 9:30.
Yeah, we're early
No, I just had to take the house, like, close the fire, so we keep
Yeah, she.
Yep.
research all sorts of
Interest rates, they stay up.
Are they what?
Are they staying up?
Yeah.
What's that?
I tell my and she, so I said, we don't need 24 in this. She said, I think you're, she said, I just get uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on. Like, what if you guys keep the same argument I've said? But I said, but it's easy to pull. We're not gonna come with a $24 million expense all of a sudden. She said, well, I'll bring it down to 10.
No.
Yeah, what does she start with that, and then, I mean, what does she hear in a month? She knows. It's not that, right? Yeah. You're losing money.
I told her something. Hopefully she does something about it.
We got a lot of.
I don't want to step in the shoes.
You're gonna double our house meeting.
Yeah, there's no, it's the money part, no, it's a 24.
We're just talking about that.
Hey. Big meeting. Where we put ourselves. When you hear that, Greg was not on board.
But maybe that's something we.
Wayne's a great kid. He was in the hospital yesterday, I'm not sure if he's out.
For the damn insurance.
Still doing it?
At least the rest of it.
Well, we'll keep our.
Better than the old.
Get listed, easy to talk about.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
Good, Alan.
Doesn't close the door on us.
You got the notoriety, that's what.
He sent me that, he sent me. Yeah, I checked out the gym. But I thought, what is it? This. Jeez.
All right, this is part very good.
Oh, boy.
Your Tony's healed it.
Gentlemen, sir.
Double thumbs up.
Give it one more minute, see if Wayne shows up. Greg.
You did have to fill out a fraud questionnaire for the park board. Just an FYI.
Thank you. That's good. We're in compliance.
No known fraud, to my knowledge.
None to my knowledge. All right, good morning, everyone. We will exit regular session and call to order the Madison County Park District meeting for February 18th. Everybody should have received a copy of the minutes and the financial report. Does anyone have any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes and the financial report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
A first and a second to approve the minutes and financial report. Any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes. Very good. Move into partnership reports. We'll start with the engineer's office.
The thing I have that I'll share is we are working with the Friends right now on some grant applications for the gap year. So we're able to get some dollars in their hands to put in our hands to help that project. Outside of that,
Very good. Thank you, sir. Friends report?
Right now, we're still in talks with Norfolk and Southern. We're waiting on approval of the survey. And that should be, we should have that soon, I would hope. We're also waiting on their appraisal of the property too. And our auction is already started. If you would go on fmcpt.com and look that up, there's a whole bunch of things on the live auction. Pancake breakfast will be March 15th at the Senior Center. And we need people to bid on that if we can. The other thing is we've ordered a new fountain for the mural park area. And it's going to be about like the one that's down at the Prairie Grass Trailhead. It'll have a dog fountain on it. And we'll get that in the spring sometime. I think that's, we're working on a new restroom to try to avoid the catastrophe that we had this winter.
it's all fixed up for now.
Yes, yeah, it is. So I think that's it.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Madison County Soil and Water.
Okay, so, the soil and water, we are working with Dennis Payne and David Kettle on updating the zoning, updating the comp plan, updating the subdivision regulations. The subdivision regulations are something that kind of sets certain standards for development, and there's open space possibilities in there and some other things that I realize can connect back to the park district. So when we talk about the 10 strategies, I'm hoping to get some input, feedback from you to see if there's something we can work together on to help make our regulations better for the park district.
Very good. All right, so there's no old business, so we'll move right into new business.
So I put in the Clean Ohio Trail Fund grant due March 15th, because I know the Friends are hoping to close the gap. I don't know if the information will be ready in time to put in the application by March 15th, but I wanted the commissioners and the park board to be aware that this grant could be happening. And so yes, some of the things that you need is an appraisal and a letter of intent to sell. So I don't know if that's possible between now and March 15th. So that would be very exciting if that can happen. My next two items are just about events happening at the Little Darby Preserve. I want the park board to approve having those events because we're inviting members of the public there. One is the invasive species removal with the high schools. That's always a great time. And the other one is a nature hike. That'll be new. This is the first time we'll be trying a nature hike. We do the prairie grass interpretive ride. That's still happening. That's going on, but this will be a different way of reaching out to people, bringing them out to the Little Darby Preserve, and appreciate all the hard work that our volunteers are doing out there to make it nicer.
Can you elaborate on the appraisal you said in the letter?
So what happens is with this grant, the Clean Ohio would be an acquisition grant, and it would help get us funds to purchase that property. And the appraisal is critical because obviously as a public entity or nonprofit, I mean, you don't want to overspend on that property. So you need an unbiased appraisal that sets a price. You can still pay more than the appraisal, it's just that the grant won't cover that. So sometimes you might be in a situation where the person still says, well, I don't care what the appraisal says, this is my price, and then it's up to you to make up the difference.
Right. So are you requesting that we fund an appraisal, or what are you requesting?
Well, I would love it, I'm sure the Friends would too. but-
Sorry, I didn't mean to suggest that.
We're-
I'm unclear on what you're requesting.
Yeah, so right now the Friends are leading this effort. So the nonprofit can apply for this grant. But when we did this grant in the past, the commissioners did end up supplying the cost up front and got reimbursed. So you remember with Kelly Mann's property, for those who were there, the commissioners did end up leading that grant. Now the Friends, they do have a pretty good matching available to them, so the Friends may decide in this situation to lead the application. I just feel like the negotiations are so close, but I just don't know if we'll make it by March 15th. But it's a great project, hopefully.
So you don't need any action, you're not asking for
Right,
any
the
action on the
Friends,
board at this time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we can't act on it because I think it's too early. So by next meeting, which will be after that grant application. So I think if there was action, we would have to come between now and your March 18th meeting. I don't know, so appraisals usually cost between $3,000 to $4,000, but the Friends can cover that. So I think the Friends are saying, if we need it covered, we got the appraisal covered. The match though, depending on what the price comes out, I think that's, we don't know how much yet, what the appraisal, because I think Norfolk Southern will do is they'll look at their appraisal and say, that's what we're gonna go for. We hire our own appraiser, and they're gonna come up with maybe a different amount, and then that's where I think you get to negotiate the price in between, so. We're just so close, we could just get a little more time, I think.
But to your point, if there was say, there could be a meeting of the minds prior to, oh no, that's 15th, that's 25th. Okay, the next meeting would be past that. We could cross that. If we needed to do some special meeting or whatever. Say
Would that be all
say
right?
you are able to, say you got an agreement, but in order to meet the Clean Ohio deadline, you would need action from the board prior to the 15th.
Could we have a special meeting?
Yeah, but maybe we could potentially move the meeting up a week, have it on March 11th instead of the 18th. That would be, if that would be needed.
Again, unlikely, but if so, that's an option.
I would like to, yeah, I would love to keep that as an option.
Sure. Yep, we'll keep that as an option. Any other business?
The last item we could kind of.
Oh, yeah, if you want to go ahead, then, yep, move right ahead.
So, in the comp plan, they talk about 10 strategies for multi-use trail. And then there is also included in that comp plan a map of our trails. Now, unfortunately, we are missing a couple key people, which is Greg and Wayne. Wayne's under the weather, Greg is traveling. But we can still kind of touch base on this, but I think we might have to finish our discussion next time. Because with the trail plan, maybe Rob knows. I know that in the past, Wayne had mentioned that there were some squiggly lines in the comp plan map that he said, it's a little, might be a little inaccurate. And I don't know if he ever got it fixed. Or is that?
I guess it depends on what you mean by getting it fixed. And the comp plan is just a visionary type situation when it comes to the trails. And we do have our greenway study that was incorporated into that comp plan. So the two may not match up exactly, but it's, again, the comp plan, as far as that's concerned, is more visionary.
Yeah. So I think what I think about why it's important to maybe have a map that we can agree on or visionary, as long as they're not too out of whack, is as we discuss growth in certain townships that maybe have a trail go through it, that would be the time in your layer to say, if you're gonna build a residential subdivision, we wanna make sure you preserve a space for a trail in the back of your property along the creek, if that's where the trail is desired. Or if we know where the trail is desired, we can start planning ahead that if there's a development proposed there, whether it's commercial or industrial, if there happens to be a trail through there, that we make a plan to say, here's our open space policy, and everybody's just on notice that, hey, we have an open space policy, and if there's a trail that goes through your property, we'd like to see open space. The idea of an open space policy is you want it to be usable space, so we can say, oh yeah, you have 30% green space, but if it's, it's a way of making open space more effective.
Right. So are you saying more of a suggestion to a developer, or actually putting it into green space language, or I guess
Right, so I think those are the type of strategies we want to talk about. So the first one talks about an open space dedication policy. So different counties around us, have an open space policy. So if someone's building, mainly if they look at residential subdivisions, because they want a residential subdivision that works best for that community. And the community in general tends to want to have access to parkland or access to recreation. And there's certain properties that would be more desirable for that. And I'm thinking about properties that are along a creek or a river, or, because that's the thing where a lot of trails and greenways are proposed. You can have a policy in place to kind of tee up that type of development, make it a preference. The second strategy says you can require developers to construct.
Well, yeah, I
That
guess so.
part,
Maybe
I don't
jumped to
know
that.
anything about that guidelines, but it's in the framework, so there must be some legal language for that.
Yeah, maybe I jumped ahead in the discussion, and I think that comes back to Dennis, and, where where does that find a home in policy and procedures? You know, is it green space? Is it part of the zoning code change to the zoning code? I don't know. So it's just something that we have to
Right, so we
take a
have
look at.
tools, and I think it'd be nice to know like what tools we're excited about, and we have an opportunity to focus on those tools while we're doing these updates. We could focus in some time on like looking into the policies and stuff.
Because if not, we can make suggestions all day long to developers versus having a, you know, codified.
Yeah,
And, you know, if it's a benefit, if they'll sell more property from that amenity, make more money, then I'm sure they'll be on board. But if it costs more than what they see as far as the benefit goes, then they're gonna be like, okay, cool, thanks for the suggestion. We'll take that in mind and see you guys later.
yeah.
Just like new roads, we showed our thoroughfare plan, it's going to boil down to details on how that gets paid for. You know, yeah, we can force the developer to do it, but,
Yeah.
you know, there's going to be a number of economic. Probably needed to make.
Would you be able to provide us some information on how these things have been pursued since the plan was adopted in 2022? Like what's been done on each of these items?
On these strategies, I'm sorry.
Yeah, in each of these strategies, yeah. And if you don't have it now, maybe you could follow up, but.
So I think that is an interesting question. I'm trying to figure out how to respond to that, because right now the Friends, their focus, they've made a decision that their priority is closing the gap. So right now, really a lot of energy is just going on to that one specific project. So that is nearing the finish line. So I think we can start, once that project is complete, then our attention can focus in on other avenues. But right now, I would say the primary focus has been closing that gap. So that's really all that's been worked on, in my view. So,
Well, we got the future is now how to connect West Jefferson over and then working with Franklin County and their portion.
right, and then so there's that proposed trail on the trail. I definitely think the park board can have a role in terms of how does that trail look like. And you've been presenting information on it too, so I do think that's, people are working on it, and we want to be involved in that, we have to be a little aggressive, otherwise other people will be making that decision.
Yeah, with Franklin County though, with it being so close, I'm this year, we're gonna work on define how you're running that up through there. Is it feasible? Are you trying to put trail back on the road again? And how beneficial is that? Versus having a dedicated trail that's away from the roads that's safer.
But we like it along the roads, because then we're not impacting the garden.
That's like the trail I proposed doesn't even come close to the road, it stays away.
So then we'd be like, ooh, that's good. I'm using the rural we. So I guess my thought is like just getting together with Wayne and Greg and the Friends group, just to see if this map is a framework that we want to use when we look at our comp plan, our open space policy, coming up with some language for that. The complete streets policies, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's something I have to ask Brian about, like, hey, Brian, what do you think about this complete streets policy? Do we have one for the county? Do we need one?
I don't have one. You know, all this stuff, we're doing our best just to keep our roads functional for their main purpose. So, you know, while I'm certainly not against recreational facilities. So it's a heavy lift to add those to, county and township roads, so. We talk about the comp plan, I mean, really that's going to gear as property develops, our opportunities, but really that's your opportunity as it develops to make, implement something